Yes, this is me, Hudson George. My topic today is all educated Grenadians supposed to know that all colonized people speak a broken language. Now, some people become educated, but they stop think. They don't thinking, they look at the education and they want to be little people who are not fortunate or are not fortunate as them to get secondary school education or university school education. So I will say they're showing off. Who want to vex with me, vex with me. Now, my point is, all colonized people speak a broken language. They speak a broken language because they're speaking the language of the colonizer. So we had an intercal sport in Grenada last week, a couple days ago, but it's last week. And social media showing up who's speaking good and who's speaking bad. My God. The history of Grenada is come from Europe and Africa and a little bit of India too. Right? So Indian language don't really survive in Grenada. Yeah, the East Indian population was small. Right? So there is not a lot of Hindu words surviving in the Grenadian local English. I could only name one so far, or two, Dalpuri and Baji, which is the Zepina Kalalu, right? So a lot of Indian words didn't survive in we English, in we Grenadian English or broken English. African words survive, French words survive, and the majority words used now is English. Okay. So we are colonized people. We don't speak proper English. And even the educated ones who think they're speaking proper English, they can't speak proper English. The only place in the world some people, and it's a small amount, speak proper English is in Britain or England, I would say. No, because Britain make up of Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and England. And there is Welsh English, there is Scottish English, there is Irish English, which is broken English. And in England, you have all kind of English. You have Yorkshire English, Londoner, Cockney, King's English. So those Grenadians in Grenada who are educated and they think they speak in English, they cannot speak English. Now, okay, there I see on the news where an athlete from SAS, I think he is brilliant in throwing the javelin. So they believe he's going to be a next Anderson Peters, or maybe even better than Anderson. The way he's going now, he's doing good. Okay. A journalist tried to interview the young man after winning a gold medal, and he refused. And then after, they asked him why again. Perhaps they thought he was rude. He was rude, but he said no. He's shy or he's scared because he did interview before and they laugh at him. Now, The young man is supposed to know the reason why they laugh at him is not because the way he speak. Don't let them fool you. I know Grenadians. The guy is a typical black Grenadian guy, maybe not from a rich home. And because we colonize, some of them maybe will laugh at him, they must be jealous. Because if, as they're saying, it's because of the way he speak, I don't think it's that alone. It's a Grenadian bad mind mentality against the young man. Because most Grenadians speak similar to how the young man speak. So it could be jealousy too. So they get the little boy shy. He becomes shy. And also, a broadcaster in the sports, they make some hasty comment about and cut off the interview. Oh, the little boy don't want to speak. Okay, the broadcaster made some mistake too. But then again, the broadcaster is involved or allegedly involved in politics. So people who oppose him for his political views may try to make it look political and to support the young boy. But those who raise the problem with the broadcaster, they don't even support the school that little boy, the young student, is representing. So, Grenada, it could be politics, it could be where you school, your location. But I don't want to go into politics now. So, okay, fast forward. Now the hot top is people in the South speak different from the people, better than the people in the North. To me, that's nonsense. All Grenadians speak broken English. Because if an Englishman come to Grenada and the people in the South tell him, the Englishman asks, where is Kentucky chicken? What street in St. George's Kentucky chicken is located? And the people in the person he asked, if they're from the south of the island and they tell the Englishman, me ain't know where Kentucky chicken is. The Englishman don't understand when they say me ain't know where Kentucky chicken is. And if they ask a country person or somebody from the country who speak in the rural area who speak a different kind of broken English, the Englishman happen to meet them in town and ask them, where is Kentucky chicken located? They might tell the Englishman, I don't know where Kentucky chicken is located. They might reply that way. But I sure the Englishman go understand the country person who say, I don't know where Kentucky chicken is located. Than the tongue man who go say, me know where country Kentucky chicken is located. So all you talking about country people speaking bad, all you could blow away from my pattern. So let me get back into what I'm saying again. All of you saying all you could speak good English. Take you guys to Toronto and go and tell a Canadian construction worker or a manager of a construction company or your boss in an aluminum factory. Boss, man, I don't know where the aluminum parts are located. If you tell your boss man that, he go say, the word is not aluminum, it's aluminum. Will you tell your boss man he's speaking bad? You won't do that. Next day you go tell the boss, you start saying aluminum because you want your job. You want your job. But I personally know the proper word is aluminium. Right? You come and pick crops in Canada. Go and tell the Canadian owner of the company what invest in tomatoes in the large plantations in the farmlands. The word is not tomato. Go and tell them it's tomatoes. Come in Toronto and start buying Toronto, and go some places, and when your boss man tell you Toronto, all you Grenadian, all you are jokers. Go in Detroit and go and tell a Detroiter the word is not I am a do that, is I am going to do that. And also English perfect in Grenada. Go and study in the United States in a university and spell labor like how you just spell it like the British, and see if the teacher or the lecturer will tell you spell it wrong. Labor, light. There's a lot of words in America they spell different. Colonized. A lot of words because the Americans take out the S and they put the Z. And maybe go in America and say the letter is Z instead of saying Z. Come in Canada and say Z. You speak in proper English, my hell. Show off all you want to show off because you've been to good school. You go to Suriname, you go to Aruba, Curaçao, Bonaire. You go in the Dutch Islands, higher up, close to the Virgin Islands. People speak a broken language. But Dutch is their official language. You go Suriname, they call it taki-taki. In the Caribbean islands, they say poplimento. Only Grenadians, some educated Grenadians, like to tell people they're speaking bad. Go in England and say you're speaking good English. I remember listening to the late former Prime Minister of England, Margaret Thatcher, was speaking. And I was interested in the way she speaks. That don't mean I want to speak like her, but I heard an English lady speaking. And she don't say very. She don't pronounce the word V-E-R-Y, very, as the way we pronounce it. She said very, very. So you guys in Grenada who say all you bright, go in England and tell the Englishman all you could speak good English than running your mouth on your locals. Another thing again, the young guy most likely might end up a great javelin thrower and maybe win gold medal for Grenada based on what I heard in the news. There's those who are obsessed with good English, they're looking at the young man talent. They're looking at the way he speaks. Some of them even volunteering to change, help him to get rid of the way he's speaking and so he could speak better. But none of them will say, okay, let us raise funds to buy a javelin thrower for the guy, for him to practice. You see how we Grenadians are? What that young man needs is, he needs people to motivate him to become a better javelin thrower than telling him he cannot speak proper English. That is nonsense. Jamaican winning medals and they're speaking in Jamaican. A Belgian winning medal is speaking Belgian. Jamaican tell you straight they speak Jamaican patois. So why is Grenadian problem with this good English? No colonized people speak the colonizer language properly. I don't care if you went in the best schools, high schools in Grenada. I don't care if you're an A student. When you open your mouth, the Englishman gonna know you're not speaking his language properly because your pronunciation is not 100% correct. So all you just want to show off on country people and say they can't speak. I a country book here speaking home, speaking till I die. Me. And only young children or students from the countryside who take part in intercall and who want to say they cannot speak good, don't bother with them. Don't bother with those who telling you how to speak. Do your research. Every colonized country that speak the language of the colonizer speak the language in a broken way. It's not proper. It's not in the perfect way like the colonizer because it's not your language. Don't let nobody fool you. And it does not make you less successful only if you want to go into broadcasting media. Also, based on the Caribbean, you wouldn't get a job for it. Or you want to work in customer service. Perhaps they might say, oh, well, the way you present your usage of your language, well, maybe I want to hire in customer service, right? But other jobs in Grenada, you're still going to get your job. And all of them who saying about good English, if they go and live in the United States, they will be the first to switch the good English they claiming they could speak to speak American broken English. Because American English is American Standard English, but it's not proper British English. And the same goes for Canada. Because if they come to Canada, they will do the same too. I was asked to change my accent in Canada. And I said no. And they asked me why. And I said, if I change my accent, I'm not hearing myself. This is not me. Because the spirit what is in me, I'm not an actor. So if I start speaking Canadian, I'm not me. I'm not me Hudson. I'm acting. Now, I don't mind they tell young people to learn to speak proper English. When I say proper English, right? Because nobody can speak English like English people. Nothing wrong in telling young people, all right, brushed up on certain things. But when you criticizing we Creole English, that's nonsense. Because all colonized people speak a broken language of the colonizer. So I don't listen to them every time they have to complain about how people speak. All of them would complaining. I want them to come to Canada and live and hear if the Canadian don't tell them they have a heavy. First thing they'll tell them, oh, you have a heavy accent. They go in the United States, they go tell them ask them where they really come from. Because the English that they claim they're so good at in Grenada is not the English being spoken in America, neither in Canada. And if they go to Australia or New Zealand, it's a different English again. They go be hearing. Because an Englishman, the way he pronounced the word day, D-A-Y, he said die. Die. But those bright Grenadians who show off one, they just put down their own people. Without broken English in Grenada and other Caribbean islands, we don't have no culture. Now, as I always say, I'm not conventional. I have my own way of reasoning. I follow Carnival in all Caribbean islands. And so far, for the second half of last year 2024 to Trinidad Carnival, I follow Carnival. And I saw masqueraders in St. Croix. And when I saw female masqueraders were in the semi-nakedness, the masqueraders is classical, They're doing it good. So if you ask me where I see some of the best women in the carnival, I will say St. Croix. The ladies, they know how to move. Right? They know St. Croix people. St. Croix used to be a Danish colony. And the Denmark sells St. Croix to the American. The people in St. Croix speak like people in St. Kitts and Antigua. That's the accent they have. Or Montserrat. Or Anguilla. They have that accent. But they are American citizens. So why they have that accent? This is the question. Somebody from St. Croix don't speak like an American. They speak like a Caribbean person. Now I'll give you a story again. One time I was in Detroit, downtown Detroit. Really, if you meet me in person, I have a big, loud voice. My voice travels. So I was speaking. And a nice-looking black woman come up to me and she said to me, "Which Caribbean island you from?" And I said, "Grenada." And she said, "The reason why I come, I hear in a Caribbean accent." And she said, "I come to chat with you because I'm an American. I born in St. Croix. I raised in St. Croix. But my parents from the Leeward Island." And she named the two islands for me in the Leeward Island. I think one of the islands was St. Kitts and either Anguilla or Antigua. And she chat with me and she go she way. This woman have good jobs. She work with the government in some nice place. Nice looking woman. Properly educated. Right? So she recognized me because the way I'm speaking. But you have some Grenadians, because they have degrees from university and they have a good grammar, they're beating up on an entire population of people who don't have that privilege or wasn't fortunate as them to get that education, and they say they're speaking bad. My question to you, who saying people speaking bad? How many Grenadians speak like an English person? And when you all colonized people who trying to be British, you just monkeying around. Monkeying around because you will never be accepted like English people. You will never be accepted. I'll give you a next story again. A couple years ago, a long time ago, it could be 30 years ago, I met a black guy in Toronto, a black guy, properly educated. He speak like, well, I don't know what is Cockney from London or whatever. but he speak British English. So I don't know if it's King Charles English he's speaking, or if it's Cockney, or if he's speaking London or Yorkshire, or if it's Scottish English or Irish, I don't know, or Welsh English. The guy told me every time he apply for jobs, he have a university degree. They call him, those days, they didn't have you send in a lot of resume, and so you call you and and they talk to you on the phone. That's how it was. And he said to me, they just tell him, oh yes, the job is available. Come down, come. Well, he's an English boy, So the company owners is in Canada. They think they're talking to a white boy or a white man. And he told me when he show up in the job, they'll say, oh, it's you? Oh, the job has been taken already. And he said, they lied to him, right? But this guy is not copying a British accent. He was raised in England. In Britain, sorry. Well, England, Britain, whatever. And he said, most employers tell him come for the interview, yes, or they go give him the job, and when he reach and they sees this black guy, an Englishman in a black man body, the job has been taken already. So all these people who are talking about good English and thing in Grenada, they just feel they're better than people. Who want to curse me? Every time is something about grammar and who pronounce that word right and who pronounce the word wrong. Come to Canada and say, tell the Canadian you're looking for the bathroom, and here what they go tell you. They go tell, oh, you're looking for the washroom. Come in Canada with all you think. And you go and tell them Canadian they're speaking bad. No, I was privileged to go inside Queen's Park Parliament in Toronto. Queen's Park. The Parliament. I've never been in Parliament building in Grenada, but I've been to Queen's Park Parliament in Toronto, which is the Ontario Provincial Government Parliament. And the reason why I went there, my lecturer was doing a course with us about Canadian history. It's a kind of humanities course, mixed up with the history of Canada and all them things. History, geography, all these things. And we had to tour the Parliament. And in the Parliament, they had a guy impersonating Johnny A. MacDonald, the first Canadian Prime Minister. And when we asked, well, why he imitating Johnny A. MacDonald, they said that Sir John A. MacDonald had a Scottish accent. He wasn't even speaking like an Englishman, he had a Scottish accent. And then I get to know that Canadian English, which is a colonial English, is modeled on a Scottish accent. And when people from Newfoundland come to Toronto, the other Canadians in Toronto say that the Newfoundlanders, or they call them Newfie, speak different. And then I told many white Canadians, Newfie people or Newfoundlanders sound more British than the mainstream Canadian. But to them, the Newfie speak different and the Newfie English is not too good. But if you're from the other Caribbean island, and you listen to the pronunciation of word. The Nupi English is closer to the British English. So, I don't care if you're country or you're from town. If you're from town, you don't speak in a better Grenadian English, a better English than me. You speak in a different broken English. Because I from home, it is St. Patrick, the most northern parish. And my broken Grenadian English sentences is not the same like the people in St. George most of the time, St. George Parish. Because in Hermitage, it's only now our young people, they go in different high school, and when they come back up, they say, meeting, me bag and me hand. But a real Hermitarian don't say me hand and me foot. We say my hand and my foot. I happened to school in Grenville part of my life. And the students used to come and ask me to say paper bag. Yeah. And I asked them why. They tell me the way I say paper bag is different from the people in St. Andrew, which I never knew. And I still can't find it. They say, well, how are you saying paper bag? Right? But it was no big thing. It was like a joke. Paper bag. Right? A person from La Poterie wouldn't say, boy, John does real thief. They go say John met thief. Because the word met come from the word met mean in English master. In my village, in Hermitage, we go say, man, John master thief. But La Poterie people say, he met thief, met. So if they go to St. George's or St. George, a La Poterie person go to St. George, and he say, hey, James met thief or James met lie. The people in St. George go say, oh, he's speaking bad. But met and master is the same word. So all those who does run their mouth on us in the country, without we country people, Grenada have no culture. No, I'm not telling young people they must not brush up on the English for other purposes. But all young rural Grenadian, please, I want you, don't let these people fool you and tell you you're speaking bad. You speak in Grenadian English because every Caribbean island people have their own English. I listen to parliamentarian in Trinidad. They don't say Trinidad. They say Trinidad. You can tell a Trinidadian to say children. They can say that. They can say children. They say children. They don't say half past. They say half past. The Jamaican have their own English. Because in Jamaica, the word E and H and I is pronounced differently. Most Jamaicans don't say in, they tell you in. They don't say head, they say head. And the same people in Grenada who telling you we English is bad. They don't know that when we get rid of our local English, we go importing broken English from other Caribbean islands. And then we go end up without no culture. I don't like to call them, but there is one particular guy. He does call our radio station trying to correct people when they speak. As if he create the English language. And I just be laughing. He himself don't speak proper English. He think he speak proper English. No colonized people speak the language of the colonizer perfectly because the history is different. And I'm going to close now. The young javelin thrower from SAR school, if I was his parents, all the people who come in and advise them about how the boy is speaking, I will tell them, blow away, chase them away. If they're really interested in the young man's future, raise fund for him and let him buy a good javelin so he could throw it. He'll throw it to learn to throw it further and further. And raise a fund for him so he could move around to buy food, pay boss, and so. That is how you're interested in somebody. It's not how they speak. Some of them could be jealousy. And they're pretending. You see a little black boy with the talent. Maybe he mother poor, I don't know, with the parents. Anyway, you know, this is me, Hudson, Georgia, and I don't care. I say it as it is. Because I've been through a lot of Grenadian people already, and the things they will do you, they will destroy you. They will destroy you, don't help you. So this is why I take the stand in those things. Because if I didn't travel to Canada, I would not know my worth. You understand? Because in Grenada, people could reject you for no good reason. Or they could screw you up. You understand? Anyway, this is me, Hudson George. I gone. I'm careless, I'm fearless, but not careless. I won't say nothing bad on people, but I will say it as it is. I'm gone till I come again. I'm fearless, but not careless. I say it as it is. I'm gone till I come again.